Hi, kids. How is everybody today? It's Thursday. Whoops. It's Thursday. How are you? You doing all right? Good morning. Good morning. Yes, yes. Good to see everybody today on another weird, cool, wet, another cold front moving in. Holy smokes. At least we're not Texas. We're not Texas. And that's a good thing. How are you today? Everybody, good morning, Sassy Mama Cat. Oh my gosh. Weird, wild stuff. I got some crazy video today. The Democrats cannot handle success. Why am I not on Facebook? Am I not on Facebook? I should be on Facebook, I would think. I think I am on Facebook. It shows on. I got people respond to me from Facebook, so I should be on Facebook. I don't know. Craziness. All right, kids. My name is Nick Stewart. This is Sunrise Santa Rosa. Welcome to the program. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you to Milton Post for hosting. So I don't understand the question about. I don't understand. I am on Facebook. I have other people on here on Facebook, so I know that they are seeing it on Facebook. Late coming. Well, there was a kind of a reboot for some weird reason. Everything kind of went blank and it frightened me. I had everything loaded in, and it kind of frightened me, but it did come back. So there we go. All right, we got your forecast, which is not pleasant. Today, cloudy, occasional showers, high near 54. The chance of rain 60% tonight. Rain showers, mostly cloudy conditions overnight, low near 36, the chance of rain 40%. And then tomorrow, some clouds in the morning giving way to mainly sunny skies for the afternoon, and a high of 51 tomorrow. But tomorrow night, back down to 29 degrees. It's 45 in Milton right now. 47 Gulf Breeze, 48 in Navarre, and 43 in Pensacola. High. All right. So we are. Oh, you just got your notice. For what, Donna? Just get your, oh, that thing. That notice. Okay, I got you. Check both places. You were just behind the YouTube. Oh, I see. Okay. All right, kids. We got a bunch of stuff to kind of talk about this morning. One thing I want to say, in doing what we do, I don't want to spend a long time on it because there's been a ton of stuff said about Rush Limbaugh. And the other day, I just I said, I haven't heard an update, and I just started checking. This was probably Monday. And Rush died yesterday from lung cancer. And I had heard of Rush when I was working at a country station in Rapid City, South Dakota. My program director mentioned something about Rush, and one of the girls rolled her eyes. My program director had been from Spokane and knew of Rush when Rush started up there. So, but I didn't hear Rush till I came to Pensacola. And I wasn't working radio at the time, but I was listening. I went, well, that's pretty interesting. And Rush was a force. And Rush has impacted the conservative movement forever. And amazing talent, great insight, very funny man. And dead at 70. And don't think that evaded the liberals. We'll talk about that in a little bit. 850-771-0049. I do have my phone. All right. So the Florida Department of Law Enforcement agents arrested a Escambia County woman on Tuesday for fraud and money laundering. Here she is. Cassandra Lee Moreno, 42, was charged with 1 count of organized fraud and 4 counts of money laundering. The investigation began in June when Moreno's employer, a beverage distributor, advised FDLE that it had noticed $300,000 accounting discrepancy involving stolen money orders, which appeared to be linked to Moreno. The employer oversees sales in numerous stores from Pensacola to Panama City. The investigation revealed that over a 4-year period, Moreno used her position as a transportation supervisor to engage in a scheme to defraud. She modified her employer's accounting system to conceal the amount of money orders she had stolen. FDLE said an analysis of her personal financial records revealed that she received over $300,000 between 2017 and 2020, depositing hundreds of stolen money orders into her accounts. She resigned from her job in May of 2020. So I want to say that don't jam your employer. And employers, don't make it easy for your employees to do that. Do not give somebody 100% trust. Trust but verify. And she did it for 3 years, at least. I don't like people to steal from their employers. I don't. What else is going on? Niceville woman, Katrina Puri, 50, was arrested Tuesday on 2 charges. She's accused of molesting and sexually abusing a 5-year-old girl. This is the woman. She molested this, sexually abused this 5-year-old girl over a 7-month period in 2018. The ECCAC, a nonprofit providing services for abused, neglected children in Okaloosa and Walton counties, confirmed that Puri served on the board for about 5 months several years ago. They're supposed to stop stuff like this, and she was serving on the board. Again, 5 years ago, or a couple years ago, for 5 months. Puri showed the ECCAC board and joined the ECCAC board in April 2018. The abuse crimes happened between February 2018 and September 18, right when she was on the board. In a Facebook post on Tuesday, the board said it had not been affiliated with Ms. Puri in any way since her departure from the nonprofit after approximately 5 months. Now, I want to say this. I've got 4 or 5 child molestation stories this morning, or rape. I find that this is a bulk of what we do anymore. That there's so much of this garbage because we have vile people, and I'm over it. Milton committee of the whole meeting tonight at 5:30. Get your popcorn. Watch for, we got to have bite me alerts. There should be bite me alerts, and we'll check that out. It's a special called meeting for a development project, so it ought to be fun. Tune in. Oh, it is day 5 of quarantine for me. Day 5 of quarantine. Experts predict there won't be any gas shortages in Florida, but drivers can expect to pay a little more at the gas pump. There's plenty of gas. We're just jamming you. Winter storms in Texas have temporarily shut down oil refineries across the state. It won't cause a shortage, but it will cause an increase. You'll see an increase, whether it's 10 cents, 17 cents, 18 cents. It all depends. It all depends on the mood that they're in. So there you go. Yeah. All right. So the Pensacola Bay Bridge, where what? Oh, where's the meeting? I'm sure it's going to be. You can catch it on Facebook. It it depends if Sharon Holly's in attendance. We need to send out those bite me alerts. Yeah, we need to have just kind of a yeah. We need to do that. Gasoline thieves. Gouging is okay for gas. Seems to be. It does seem to be. All right, so let's move forward. The Pensacola Bay Bridge will still reopen on time, but with restrictions. That doesn't mean it's reopened. If you, I consider reopen the way it was before Skanska took it out with a barge. The news comes as Florida Department of Transportation leaders are expected to be in town on Thursday today for talks with stakeholders about the bridge reopening. The meeting will take place at FDOT's Milton operation at 2 p.m. Sources who asked to remain anonymous confirmed Wednesday afternoon that all 4 lanes of the bridge will reopen by March 31st. However, one section on the Pensacola side of the bridge will be reduced to 2 lanes. The restrictions are anticipated to be in place for 30 days, but expect changes. Doug Broxson said about Thursday's meeting, anytime you have a secretary of FDOT that comes over to discuss an issue, you can assume he's got some news he's bringing with him. And I think it's going to be not devastating, but I believe it will be a change of what our expectations were. So they aren't doing what they said they would do. It's not going to be open by March. Yeah, there's going to be traffic on it, but it's not going to be open. There's going to be lots of restrictions. And you know how the story goes. We called it. Live feed for the city council meeting on the website, as well as Facebook page for Sherry Sebastio. Listen, I want to do something about the sound for these meetings. The sound is not great. We need to do something about the sound. Are you not allowed to show up in person? You can, but it's COVID seating and masks. And there you go. 850-771-0049. Due to inclement weather this week, the COVID-19 vaccine shipment has been delayed, impacting the distribution plan set for Escambia County. Florida Department of Health at Escambia expects to receive its allocation of 2,500 doses of the COVID-19 Moderna vaccine next week. Rescheduling of the vaccine appointments will take place the week of February 22nd. Organizers are encouraging participants to not contact providers directly for appointment scheduling. The allocation will be distributed accordingly. 400 doses to Sacred Heart, 400 to Baptist, 800 to Community Health Northwest, 500 to Florida Department of Health, Escambia, 200 to West Florida, 200 to Woodlands Medical Specialists. The planning for next week's allocation will continue as soon as organizers are notified and will be distributed in addition to any delayed vaccines originally scheduled for this week's distribution. It's cold weather. It would help, Kim says, if all council members spoke directly in the microphone. Here's the problem I have, Kim, is that it's very got a lot of background with like a bass. So with the echo kind of thing. So it's just there's a way to fix it. I have to give a Shari about that. I attend city council meetings. They allow me with no mask. I politely pass on getting my temp taken. Good. I would, if someone wants to take my temp from now on, I'm just going to act like I'm going to drop trowel. It's more accurate. I'm just going to turn around and bend over. It is a more accurate reading. The man accused of ripping off a mask of a woman at a pro-Trump rally in Pensacola will wait a little longer. On Wednesday, a judge approved a continuance of Dan Ditto's case. He's a friend of our show. He pleaded not guilty to a simple battery charge last December. Ditto was arrested on November 10th after allegedly ripping off a woman's face mask days earlier at a Stop the Steal rally in support of Donald Trump. Ditto's lawyer asked the judge Wednesday for continuance to have more time to interview witnesses and review evidence. Prosecutors did not object to the request, and the judge requested the continuance, or granted the continuance. So the new date is April 26th, and the jury selection is set for May 10th. A state corrections officer at the Santa Rosa Correctional Institution in Milton is accused of pulling a gun on his girlfriend and allegedly telling her that he was the devil. If you only knew how I was at the jail, you know I was the devil, and you wouldn't want to be here, he reportedly told the woman. Samuel Maxey, 45, Pensacola, was arrested on Tuesday, charged with 1 count of battery, 1 count of aggravated battery, and booked into the Escambia County Jail with a $5,500 bond. In his arrest report, Max is listed as a sergeant with the Santa Rosa Corrections. The Florida Department of Corrections did not respond to requests for comment about the status of Max's employment or that he's the devil. You're welcome, Corey. But it is a more accurate reading. Yeah. You know what the difference is between an oral and a rectal thermometer? Yeah, the taste. You're welcome. The 12-year-old Nick came out. That is what quarantine does. In a virtual meeting, oh my gosh, on one of the most frigid days in recent history, Tuesday, a group of advocates met as a task force and brainstormed the stepping stones to eradicating homelessness in the Panhandle. Now, all these homeless groups getting together and working together to do what they can to limit homelessness. But I don't know. Eradicating means to completely obliterate it. You cannot do that. There's no way to totally destroy and get rid of homelessness. None. There is none. So that phrase, I think, needs to be struck. Strike it from the record. You cannot eradicate it. It's only become homelessness has become worse because of COVID, because of cold weather here in recent days. Connie Bookman, the founder of Pathways for Change and driving force behind the new homelessness task force, said while there are numerous resources for the homeless populations, from housing to shelter to food support, it's rare for the agencies offering those services to partner on a large scale. The new venture, called Homelessness Reduction Task Force in Northwest Florida, is a community partnership aiming to streamline services across Escambia and Santa Rosa counties by connecting services and more accurately tracking the needs and causes of the area's homelessness. It has ambitious goals, aiming to increase shelter capacity for families and women. That is lacking. A lot of folks want to know why the waterfront doesn't take in women and children. They have some services for them during the day, but no shelter for them at night. And just because the liability is too great to have them all in the same building. Sexual assaults, things like that. And there is a greater need for the men. There are more men that are homeless than women and children, just saying. Bookman said on any given day in Escambia and Santa Rosa counties, there's almost 1,500 homeless adults and 4,000 homeless children. I am glad that there's folks trying to work to reduce homelessness. By the grace of God, it could be. Yeah, it could. There's probably been times I was very close. Mental health is on the list, and it is an issue. Mental health is an issue. Yeah, I think that maybe we ought to get a. I'd like to find a way for the risers, you guys, the risers, to donate to this cause. So we'll see what we can come up with. I'll find out what the needs are. We'll find out what the needs are first. What else? 69-year-old brat man. This guy, he looks pleasant, doesn't he? He's been charged with molesting a child, and it was all captured on camera. David Lee Rowley was booked into the Escambia County Jail Wednesday night on a charge of lewd and lascivious molestation of a victim less than 12 years of age. On February 11th, the Escambia County Sheriff's Office Special Victims Unit and Century Patrol units were notified that Rowley possibly molested a child under the age of 12. Through the investigation, it was determined on January 1st, Rowley did commit the crime, and it was caught on camera. It's believed there could possibly be additional victims of Rowley that have yet to be identified by the sheriff's office. Yeah. Unpleasant human being needs to go. Needs to go. There's a lot of this nonsense. Why is it? Is it prevalent because of the internet? I don't know. Here's this. This guy, let me get out of the way because it's a weird picture. This is a cantonment man. He's charged with the forcible rape of an underage girl. Joshua, I think that's how I say it. Josu Morol Lopez, 23, is charged with 2 counts of felony sexual battery of an underage victim, age 12 or older, while using force. According to a arrest report, Lopez would go to the victim's home to see her sister and enter through her window. On the night of the incident, he instead went to the underage victim's bedroom window. She recognized him and let him in the front door. As she returned to her room, Lopez allegedly pushed her on the bed and began to strangle and rape her. The victim was treated for injuries, and a sexual assault kit was collected at the hospital. When the victim was interviewed, she told investigators that Lopez had previously sexually assaulted her about 6 years ago. If convicted, Lopez faces life in prison on the capital offenses. He remained in the Escambia County Jail with a bond of $400,000. Florida would actually save money if they spent more on mental health. Yeah. But I don't know. There's a lot of nuances to that. You can't say. Well, I can't just say that. He needs to lose the instrument of rape. Oh, well, yeah. Brain is another part of that. Have fun in prison. 850-771-0049. These people can't stand the rapists. The number of Escambia County COVID-19 daily hospitalizations has fallen. There's that. Don't mention Lorena Bobbitt. That is a tender subject, I guess. No pun intended. There were 107 people currently hospitalized due to COVID-19 in Escambia County on Wednesday. That's the lowest since December 9th and coming off a spike of 291 on January 14th. COVID-19 hospitalizations between the 3 local hospital systems are continuing to go down, but it's important that we continue to work together to bring these numbers down for our community and for our hospitals. That's from Grover. There were no additional COVID-19 deaths and 68 more cases in Escambia County reported on Wednesday by the Florida Department of Health. So you see, we're in the light blue. Yeah, whatever. Rape is about power. Losing the instrument does not stop them. That is correct. That's why I said it's a brain thing. Lopez needs to be mentally castrated. I've heard that for years. Yeah. Frontal lobotomy would be good. Kate, excellent. Lobotomy would help. Come up at the same time. Great minds think alike. All right. Congress allocated about $4.1 trillion over the past year to combat COVID-19, and around $3 trillion already spent. Much of the 2020 funding wasn't narrowly targeted for the sake of emergency, said Mark Goldwine, Senior Vice President and Senior Policy Director for the CRFB, although Goldwine believes the next COVID relief package should be much smaller than the $1.9 trillion currently proposed. He believes the previous stimulus was essential in helping America ward off depression. None of the doomsday scenarios that people like me were worried about actually occurred. We need to give credit where credit is due. COVID relief worked. The leftover $1.1 trillion is largely due to the stimulus bill passed in December, he said. Some of that money won't be spent right away. Unemployment benefits are meant to be going out over a period of time. Other spending categories like Small Business Administration's economic injury disaster loans haven't had enough applications yet. So what is the hurry to pop out this $1.9 trillion that Biden wants because he wants to rescue crap holes like Chicago, New York, all these Democratic strongholds that are going bankrupt because they can't run their cities. And that's what it's about. Yeah. Oh, Donna. That was a little strong. All right, there's this guy. Check him out. An activist in Baltimore, Maryland, has come up with a unique solution to solving the city's high murder rate. And you know, we need solutions. Baltimore is one of the big murder capitals. But they want to pay killers to not kill. Yeah, we're going to pay them money. I can relate to the shooters. Guess what they want? They want money. Tyree Moorhead, the activist, told Fox 45 of Baltimore. Moorhead, who the Baltimore Sun reported spent more than a decade in prison on second-degree murder conviction tied to a shooting at 15, suggests certain measures the city's taken to stop the bloodshed aren't enough. He's already done some other things. You want to hear some of the other things that he's done to curb violence in the streets of Baltimore? He painted nearly 200 no-shoot zones throughout the city. Yeah. So he paid, look behind them on the wall, no shoot zone. That's what his shirt says, no shoot zone. And so people were like, hey, oh, I'm sorry. Like it's a no smoking. It's a no shoot zone. I can't shoot here. I have to go the next block over before I can pull my trigger. Oh my gosh. The liberals are out of their flipping brains. Baltimore's continued to experience a high rate of killings and shootings despite having those wall murals up. Who figured? In 2020, the city eclipsed 300 homicides for the sixth year in a row while recording more than 1,000 shootings. They must not be able to read. You got to teach them how to read those no-shoot zones. Former Baltimore police spokesman T.J. Smith said he doesn't believe paying criminals is the answer. You think? You think? Because he's in the news because he makes a big deal. Oh, and because it's a liberal city. And that is probably the most how simple is that? Why didn't we think about that? No shoot zones. Let's pay murderers to not murder. It's a pretty simple solution. You really have to admit. He probably spent 20 minutes on the toilet thinking about that one. And it just came to him. A good good cup of coffee, and then to the toilet to do some thinking and some meditating. And there you go. You get brainstorms like that. At least 20 people were dead as of Wednesday after a winter storm swept across the U.S. The winter storms left millions without power, bringing record-breaking cold weather, overwhelming power grids, and immobilizing the southern plains. On Tuesday, 3 people were found dead after a tornado hit a seaside town in North Carolina. Listen to this. 4 family members also perished in a Houston area house fire while using a fireplace to stay warm. People have been using fireplaces for years. Texas is seeing the worst of power outages, which are affecting more than 3 million homes and businesses. Yeah. Okay, I got a video to show you. This is wild. This is a barber shop, and I'm going to try to get out of the way because a lot of it takes place right behind where my pretty little picture is at. So I'm going to try to get a lot of this stuff off of here, and then I'm going to go away, and then I want you to, I'm going to come back. All right? Okay, here we go. Hold on. He fell. He fell down. This barber, he fell down. He's right there on his knees on the floor. He fell on his scissors. He was talking to this guy, came back around behind this chair, and he fell on his scissors, and they went into his chest. So they got the squad in and called them in. Oh, my gosh. Pretty wild. It didn't show a whole lot. She didn't really miss too much. But Steve Silva was cutting a customer's hair at the Boston Barber Company in Beacon Hill last Friday when he slipped and fell to the ground, causing the shears to pierce his chest. He was seen in the footage getting to his knees as 2 coworkers rushed to his aid, lending one to frantically grab paper towels and apply pressure to the wound. We weren't sure how serious it was until we hear that they had to crack his chest plate and perform open heart surgery on the guy. Doctor told the paper the shears narrowly missed his heart. That's crazy. Crazy. Children, don't run with scissors. What? That's absolutely the worst. Yeah, that does not sound like a pleasant day. Oh. Diane is in Texas. She's, I love my family. I'm ready to go home. I know, we're praying for no busted pipes as well. Yeah, so their GoFundMe account is doing well to get funds for that poor barber. What? That's crazy. That is crazy stuff. What else is going on? That's into that one. Let me get rid of this out of the way. It was sheer stupidity. Barber humor. Thank you, Heather, for coming to our rescue. The Grinch was wrong. Don't run with scissors. Yeah. It's bad for barbers. All right. MSNBC host Joy Reid claimed Wednesday night that conservative talk radio icon Rush Limbaugh used his longtime producer to get away with saying racist things. Now, Rush had Bo Snerdley as his producer. But check this out. Here's Joy Reid. Wow.
He called, the Affordable Care Act's, secret reparations and racialized something that had no racial undertone to it, other than it definitely lifted people of color on average, more because Black and brown people had less health care, right? But he racialized it, and he got white Americans to hate the Affordable Care Act. He called President Obama.
I think we hated it anyway. I think that Obama did that. Obama made us hate the Affordable Care Act. So Obama's the racist. I'm just saying.
Magic Negro, and used his black sidekick as a cover to be able to do like that kind of outright racist stuff. I mean, if any person other than Donald Trump would have been president, it would have been him, because he basically was president for the last 4 years.
Really? Rush was basically president for the last 4 years? I don't know if that statement even makes sense, but yeah. So Joy didn't care for Rush. After slamming Limbaugh for a parody song that referred to President Barack Obama as Barack the Magic Negro, she suggested James Golden, Bo Snerdley, was only kept around as a shield for Limbaugh's bigotry. And Snerdley loved Limbaugh. Worked for him for decades. CNN's critics have been left howling in recent days by star Chris Cuomo's silence over the scandal plaguing his brother, Andrew Cuomo. Before the coronavirus outbreak, the Cuomo primetime host was barred by CNN from covering his politician brother. However, as the New York governor star rose thanks to his daily press briefings and the mainstream media showered the Democrat with praise for his leadership, the network allowed its primetime anchor to hold a series of chummy interviews with his brother in the early weeks of the pandemic. Their exchange was largely involved teasing each other for their looks, competing for their mother's attention, and even prop comedy. Comedy was very loosely identified. Cuomo's been told to steer clear of his brother's political woes. The early months of the pandemic crisis were an extraordinary time. We felt that Chris speaking with his brother about the challenges of what millions of American families are struggling with was one of significant human interest. Did you watch them? It wasn't interesting. As a result, we made an exception to a rule that we have had in place since 2013, which prevents Chris from interviewing and covering his brother. And that rule remains in place today. Really? CNN has covered the news surrounding Governor Cuomo extensively. It's news. Your brother murdered thousands of people. I think that's news. And if you can't cover it, somebody else needs to cover it. CNN's not covering it. They're not covering it. 850-771-0049. But they're terrible. There was one. I can't remember who was because it was so offensive. They put on there for Rush #rest in piss. That's how petty they are. And Rush didn't care. He's like, man, he didn't care what they thought about him. Yes. They are their star is fading. The Cuomo boys. Socialists and others on the left excoriated President Joe Biden over his admission that he didn't have the power to forgive student debt for those who owed up to $50,000. The president voiced his unpopular stance Thursday evening during a town hall event, Tuesday evening, on CNN when a young woman asked him when he would forgive more than $10,000 he had previously suggested. I will not make that happen, he responded. It depends on the idea that I say to a community, I'm going to forgive the debt of billions of dollars for people who've gone to Harvard and Yale and Penn, he said. Biden had other plans to extend debt relief to some Americans according to different criteria, but many on the left angrily denounced him for not supporting a blanket relief for all student debt up to $50,000. It's extremely classist and racist to assume that only rich people get into elite schools, said one user. So he is unpopular because he is not going to forgive that student debt. He says he will not do it. Board of County Commissioners regular Thursday at 8:30 this morning. There you go. We'll be checking it out. What else is going on? Retired Lieutenant General Russell Honore has been leading a review of security measures at the U.S. Capitol at the direction of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. That's following the January 6th attack on the building by a mob of Trump supporters. But recent inflammatory comments made by the 74-year-old retired Army general against Republicans are raising questions about whether he was the right pick for the job. Tucker Carlson last night pointed out unfounded speculations Honore made in the media in the days following the attack, such as his assumption that those in charge of security at the Capitol, including a high percentage of Capitol police officers, could have been complicit in the attack and he dubbed them Trumpers. He had no way of knowing. He just said it. What was COVID, Cuomo's motivation for COVID patients in nursing homes? Recovery. And old people don't matter. It was there anyway. The COVID was there anyway. What difference does it make how they died, he said. You know. Oh, this is awesome. Taliban militants learning how to make bombs and improvised explosive devices were killed in a massive explosion when a bomb was accidentally ignited. You all failed. You failed the bomb-making class. At least 30 militants were killed in a blast Saturday. The Afghan National Army said in a statement that 6 foreign nationals were included in the death toll. The explosion was so massive that they could not be identified from the remains. Good riddance to those pieces of garbage. Honore is a dangerous partisan crackpot, and that's exactly why Nancy Pelosi. This is why they have the troops at the Capitol. That's why she's getting Honore. This is all about the power. Yeah, I'm glad they blew themselves up. I'm glad they're gone. They've been erased. They're spots in the sand. And yeah. South Carolina state legislature passed a piece of legislation on Wednesday banning nearly all of abortions in the state. And now the bill's on its way to the governor's desk. But it did not go over very well. This is, what's this guy's name? Jonathan Hill got angry, and as did a lot of the Democrats. But watch this. Watch this. He just got mad and threw his papers and walked out.
I got part of it.
He could not take it. He just threw his papers and walked out. We're losing. There you go. Bye. Right when you can. If one of the speaker, Jay Lucas, reportedly said, if you want to engage in such childish behavior, the sergeants will make sure you're not here with us. If it went their way, they would expect the Republicans to not do that. They would have metal detectors and all kinds of House procedures passed. That's what the Democrats do. Listen to this. You're going to love this, you sanctuary gun county, you. A Democratic bill introduced in the House of Representatives this year aims to create a mandatory and publicly accessible registry listing the name of gun owners, how many guns they have, and even where they keep the firearms. Additionally, the bill, H.R. 127, would ban several types of commonly used ammunition. 50 caliber or greater required gun owners to purchase firearm insurance costing $800 per year and force those seeking to buy a gun to complete a psychological evaluation and a government training course prior to the purchase. Should gun owners fail to adhere to the new restrictions, they could face a harsh penalty of 10 years in prison and fines of $50,000 to $150,000. You're going to have to tell them your name, how many guns you have, and where you keep them, and it will be on a public registry. Great. Oh, this is interesting. Immediately following last month's Capitol riot in Washington, D.C., a major point of contention among conservatives has been that leftists and far and wide decried the insurrection of January 6th while ignoring or even justifying the months and months of violence and destruction from Black Lives Matter and Antifa that took place across America last year. MSNBC's Joe Scarborough let his position be known on Tuesday's edition of Morning Joe. Here is Joe and his wife, Mika. Why are they social distancing? I don't know. They're married. Check this out. And listen to this. If you don't understand it, there's something wrong with you.
On other cable news channels that will say, well, you know, this mom and pop store was vandalized during the summer riots, and that's just as bad as the United States Capitol being vandalized. No, actually, no, jackass, it's not.
No,
The Capitol of the United States
you're
of
a
America
jackass.
is the center of American democracy. And while I am a fierce believer in people's right to defend their private property, I'm not going to confuse a taco stand with the United States Capitol. I'm not going.
All right, so you have been diminished to a taco stand vendor. If you lost your business, and look, we can show you hours of footage, days of footage from these riots and these abuses in these cities where people's lives and livelihoods were absolutely destroyed. Look, the Senate, the Senate and the Congress got back to business the same day. And you're a jackass, he says.
Selling of tacos with actually moving through.
So everybody that lost a business was the taco business.
Process that is laid out in the United States Constitution.
There you go. There you go. You're a jackass because you don't get it. If this was a sacred place, it was a sacred place. And you Trumpers depersonalized it. It's not the same thing. Joe Scarborough. President Joe Biden said Tuesday that one of the biggest challenges to distributing the coronavirus vaccine is that many people in Hispanic and Black communities don't know how to use the internet to find out where they can get their doses. Here is Joe Biden giving you his racist viewpoint. Let me get rid of this. Not that matters. Here you go.
The other portion is a lot of people don't know how to register. Not everybody in the community, in the Hispanic and the African American community, particularly in rural areas that are distant and or inner city districts, know how to get online to determine how to get in line for that COVID vaccination at the Walgreens or at the particular store.
All right, let's break this down. Let's break this down in more detail. Number one, he stammers like a crazy man, which I think is pretty accurate. But so number one, you don't know how to use the to get online. Black people and Hispanic people don't know how to use the internet. That's a racist statement. That is a racist statement. Now, if he just said elderly people have struggles, yeah, I've said that. That's true. That is a true thing. They went to online registration here in Escambia and Santa Rosa, and they had to go back to the phones because it didn't work because people couldn't register. But when you say Black people and brown people, Hispanic people can't get on the internet because they don't know how it works, that's a racist statement. And then he says something that makes me smile. At the Walgreens. At the Walgreens, at the CVS, at the Walmarts. Oh, people, listen to me. He's a racist. This man, the people that, he is an out and out racist. He's a racist. You black and brown people don't know how to use the internet. They're ignorant, is what he's saying. That is a wow, Roger. That is a wow. That came out of his mouth. Oh, where are his keepers? Holy smokes, man. Does some of the stuff he said make you got to go, ooh, gosh. The Biden administration has instructed the Department of Homeland Security officials to use more inclusive language to describe people residing in the country illegally, such as dropping the word alien and replacing it with non-citizen. The changes are reportedly part of an effort by the Biden administration to portray itself as more welcoming on immigration than the previous administration, and ignoring the black people and brown people that put him into office, evidently, by disposing of them and focusing on illegals. Oh, I'm sorry, non-citizens, undocumented non-citizens, or undocumented individuals. Oh, you'll love this. The principal of a public school in New York City has sent out literature that asks parents to reflect on their whiteness. Let's take a moment and reflect on our whiteness. The school in New York City sent out a ranked list of white identities. Parents whose children attended the East Side Community School reportedly reviewed a ranked list of the 8 white identities. I'm going to pull those up here so you can see the graph and figure out where you're on the graph and understand where your problem is. Because the whole thing is understanding what your problem is. It ranges from white supremacist to white abolitionist. It's authored by Banner Hess, an associate professor of African American Studies in Northwestern University. The ranked list is introduced with the following statement. There's a regime of whiteness, and there are action-oriented white identities. People who identify with whiteness are one of these. It's about time we build an ethnography of whiteness, since white people have been the ones writing about and governing others. Here are the 8 identities: white supremacist, white voyeurism, white privilege, white benefit, white confessional, white critical, white traitor, and white abolitionist. The white supremacist identities found near the red zone of a color-coordinated meter that accompanied the handout. It's described as clearly marked white society that preserves names and values white superiority, while as a white abolitionist in the green zone is one who is changing institutions, dismantling whiteness, and not allowing whiteness to reassert itself. Distributed the material to every parent as part of a series of materials meant for reflection and as a food for thought, the report said. In a statement to the Post, the Department of Education spokesperson said, anti-racism and the celebration of diversity is at the core of our work on behalf of the young people of New York City. Well, when you have to do this, does that show diversity? No, it doesn't celebrate diversity. It's to advance equity in their community. Not equality, equity in their community. The document in question was shared with the school by parents as part of an ongoing anti-racist work in the school community and is one of the many resources the school utilizes. This is not anti-racism. This is actually racism. In their pea brains, trying to get rid of racism, they're engaging in racism. Our staff's now being targeted with vile, racist, anti-Semitic, and homophobic slurs and degrading language from people outside of their school, and nothing justifies the abuse directed at our educators. Well, yeah, because you have stirred up racism. Because you're a racist. When you promote whiteness, you're promoting racism. You're promoting this whiteness identity thing. You're promoting racism. For the love of God, people. Holy mackerel. All right. So Nicole Wallace, and we could go over today because I'm on quarantine and I want to. So if you can stick around, we got some stuff. Where did it go? Oh, no, that's not it. Maybe I lost it. I don't know. I may will find it later. This is Kamala Harris. I'm going to do this. She was asked about teachers getting back to school, getting back in the classroom and teaching the kids because the kids are important, right? This is very interesting. She clarified the White House's position on schools reopening without teacher vaccinations, as Dr. Fauci recommended. Here you go. See if you can unscramble this train wreck.
The CDC has said it is not a prerequisite for teachers to be vaccinated for them to go back to school. But many teachers are wary of going back to school. And we've had some cities have to sue the teachers union or sue their own school districts to try to get these schools to reopen. Can you reassure teachers who are listening right now that it is safe for them to go back to school, even if they are not vaccinated, if these public health...
Can you reassure teachers that it's okay for them to go back in the classroom even though they're not vaccinated, which is what Fauci said?
And masks are being implemented.
So first of all, let me just say this, and the president has said it, and we're all really clear. Teachers should be a priority. Teachers should be a priority. Look, let me just tell you something. I love teachers.
Teachers should be a priority. Well, that's not the question. That wasn't the question.
Mrs. Frances Wilson attended my law school graduation. Teachers are critical to our children's development. They should be able to teach in a safe place and expand the minds and the opportunities of our children. So teachers should be a priority along with other frontline workers, and we're going to make them a priority. I believe that up to 22 states, I believe, have prioritized teachers in terms of vaccinations.
If they're not vaccinated, is it safe for them?
Well, I think that we have
to... The anchor is trying to clarify it. So if they're not vaccinated,
we can put in place safe measures. This is why, and it's so important, we pass the American Rescue Plan. The American Rescue Plan, which the president and I have proposed, is a plan that is about getting our schools back open. Why does this connect with what we're talking about right now? It's going to be safer for our schools to reopen when we can get our schools.
It doesn't. It doesn't connect with what we're talking about right now. You have changed the subject.
Structure needs, like helping them with their ventilation systems, helping them create social distancing with barriers, the things that are necessary to get them back open in a safe way.
I don't want to beat it to death, but I know there are teachers listening, and the CDC has said they don't have to be vaccinated to go back to school.
We think they should be a priority. We think they should be a priority.
Okay.
We think they should be a priority, and the states are making decisions individually about where they will be on the list of who gets vaccinated. I believe they should be a priority. The president believes they should be a priority.
Let's talk.
So she avoided all of it. The one goes, okay, just want to reclaim. The CDC says they don't have to be vaccinated to go back to school. Well, we believe they should be a priority in being vaccinated. Well, that's not the question. Should they go back? Well, we believe that they should be a priority. Look, they are beholden to the teachers' unions. They don't care about your children. The Democrats do not care about your children. They care only about the unions. The children don't give them any money. The teachers' union gives them buttloads of money. The kids don't do anything for the Democrats. Curriculum. I disagree, Kate. I disagree. Curriculum is a problem. Teachers are a problem. Not all of them. But the teachers' unions are an issue. But look, I know they can't answer a question. Kamala Harris cannot answer a question. Holy mackerel, people. I don't know. What do you do? What do you do? Let me see if this is what I'm looking for here. Get rid of Kamala. Let's see if this is what I'm looking for here.
You know, this is just someone.
Oh yeah, here it is.
To his last.
Okay, so this is oh my gosh, people. Nicole Wallace on Deadline. She has a group of people, and this is the Trump Plaza Casino building in Atlantic City being removed by a controlled implosion. This building has been set for, it was just time for it to be demolished. All right. So let's watch this. These people are out of their minds.
Is humble. Tim, I saved this for you, and I feel a little, well, I don't feel bad playing it. Let me play this. This is the implosion of a Trump property. There it goes. Is that a metaphor?
There it goes.
Tim, are we done? Is Trump and already ushered in? Are we done? Is it imploding?
I'm just bathing in this for a second.
Right?
Nicole.
Can we
Just
play
let
it
me
again?
enjoy it.
I never say stuff like this, but control room, can we play it again? There it is. I mean, is this a metaphor? Are we done? I mean, I thought Joe Biden said it last night for a reason. This is not a White House that sort of speaks without thinking. And they're done. They're done talking about
Oh,
Trump.
really?
Called him the former guy.
This is not a White House that speaks without thinking. Have you had a conversation with Joe Biden? Besides coffee and how great his dogs are? And will his love with Jill heal our nation? Wow. I know what Biden stands for. Zero. It's liberal claptrap. These people are out of their minds, but they are basking in the glow because a building is imploded. Thinking that is it's because it belonged to Trump, then it's like poetic justice. That's how ridiculous they are. They celebrate the death of Rush Limbaugh because they hate him. They want to put you on a scale of your whiteness because they're the racist. They are the racist. Oh my gosh. Come on. These jackwagons are beyond the pale. I'm just over these people. All right. Another day, another flurry of nonsensical crap clap from, I did say crap trap on purpose, from the Democrats because it's just stupidity. We're day 5 of quarantine, and we will keep you updated. Yes, we tested positive. So we've got the Rona. You could tell that I am on death's door. Do I feel sick? No. I don't. But and who knows if the test was accurate. I don't care. It doesn't make a difference. So hello. We're here. God bless you. Thank you so much, everybody. You have a fantastic day. And Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow. The viewings are up. We must be off restriction. So share the video as much as possible. And we'll see you tomorrow. God bless. Have a great day.